Just walking the dogs. So I said I'd make a little video on reps in reserve to explain what you'll find in the program. Anytime that I am writing for hypertrophy or muscle building programs, I'm going to most likely be identifying the intensity that we should work in through a little thing called reps in reserve. And what that basically means is how many reps have you got left in the tank? And that's a great way for us to gauge your intensity because we want to be ideally working at a weight that is challenging enough so that you couldn't do 100 reps. If you're working at a weight where you could keep on going for days and days, then it's probably not working at an intensity that we're actually going to stress the muscle into adapting to getting stronger, bigger, all of that good stuff. So whenever it comes to reps in reserve, we want to be ideally working at roughly 3 reps left in the tank or fewer. Now, you will see some training hardcore bodybuilder workouts where they actually go to failure. A lot of people think that you have to train that hard all of the time. That's actually not true. And it can actually be quite counterproductive because if you go so hard that your muscle literally cannot squeeze out another rep, you're going to get a lot of fatigue that comes along with that. So rather than going absolutely balls to the walls to failure, well, fine. What we can do is instead we'll go a little bit less intense than that, but still close enough so that we're approximating the level where we can't do many more reps. And in the long run, that's going to lead us to being able to actually fit more hard sets within the week. You're going to be carrying a little bit less fatigue throughout those sets. And you'll be able to hopefully not have as much soreness and be able to actually train the same muscle groups a couple of times a week rather than if you go absolutely super balls to the walls intense, then you're not going to be able to maybe train that muscle group again because you're going to be so sore from it. You're not going to be able to walk if you don't legs. So that's a little thing to consider with the reps in reserve for generally getting ourselves in a zone where we're going to have some good muscle building, adapting, toning up the muscles, as people like to say. We want to be getting 10 to 20 hard sets per week for a muscle group, and anything in that range is going to be nice. You don't have to worry about that, the details of how you get to there, because you've hired me and I will program that for you. But if we're not able to get into the right zone of intensity where we're actually, training the muscles close to failure, then we're probably going to need to do a lot more sets to get that same level of adaptation. So there you go. That's a little bit on the why behind reps in reserve. It'll always be wrote maybe earlier in the program, 3 reps in reserve. So you should leave 3 reps left in the tank. If you feel like you're absolutely dying and you're not able to hit that right amount of reps, or you're feeling like, oh my God, I could only have squeezed 1 out, it's probably too intense. And we can track this as well as the weeks go on. And you're going to be able to look back like, oh, actually, well, in the first week of my program, I done 3 reps in reserve at 60 kilos squats or whatever it might be. But now I done the same 3 reps in reserve on week 5. And, actually I done 70 kilos and I felt 3 reps in reserve. So we can track progress as well like that. It doesn't have to be perfect to start with. Do a bad job of it and get kind of used to where the edge of your capacities lie. But in the long term, you're going to get really adept at feeling how far can you push your muscles? What does actually going to failure look like? And over time, you're gonna get strong as shit from that. And we're gonna push your training in a good positive direction and have health, strength, and happiness. Okay, there you go. That's the roundup on reps in reserve. Have a nice day.